So I just got these two brand new old road bikes. This one's a Falcon and right here is a Bridgestone. They're both very dirty, and that's why I'm here at the car wash. Before I wash these things, I gotta get rid of this bottle cage because it's ugly. That's better. Now some citrus degreaser. Okay, so maybe I'm using a little too much citrus cleaner, but now we're gonna get to the fun part, hosing off the bikes. So now that both bikes are clean and all the bearings and insides of the tubes are fully waterlogged, because you should never really clean bikes at the car wash, let's see what we got. The first bike is a Falcon. It's got these great red graphics and this beautiful yellow paint. And on the fork, you have chrome tips that are set off by these little stripes that form kind of a junction between the yellow paint and the chrome fork tips. Now, the head tube badge is a thing of beauty. All the paint has kind of come off of it, but it looks like it's made out of either brass or aluminum. And it says designed by, well, let's skip that for now. It's got the Olympic rings and it has a bird, which I'm assuming is a falcon. And the seat tube decal takes us to Lincolnshire, England, with the Union Jack, and it looks great. This bike definitely isn't stock. Somebody has done sort of an upright conversion with these really sticky grips and these Tektro brake levers. And even though the handlebars are a little too wide, I like this configuration way better than drop bars. And if you look at the crank, it's a relatively modern Sugino, which means that it didn't come stock on this bike, but it's probably an improvement over whatever did. Right here you can see the Rigida rim, which is steel, not great, but it probably came stock on the bike. And this fantastic reflector and some Weinmann center pull brakes. Again, not fantastic, but they'll do the job. And this foam saddle was obviously an upgrade, but now it's kind of wet, so hopefully that dries out someday. The pedals are these cheap rat traps that probably came stock. I'd upgrade these with like some Odyssey plastic pedals or something. And down on the chainstay we see a black diamond decal. I don't know if that's the name of the bike, but it's a cool little detail. And finally on the front hub, these quick release wing nuts, which apparently aren't even legal anymore, but it's always kind of cool to find them. Now the bike on the back of the rack is a Bridgestone, and I love finding Bridgestone bikes because the name just has a certain cachet to it, which makes these things really easy to sell. Now according to your seat tube decal, this is a model 200, which puts it kind of low in the range, but it's still a pretty decent bike. It has alloy rims, and these are actually made by Araya, which is a really good company, so these are decent rims. Now, they did cut corners on the hubs, which are steel, but the front is a quick release, and I think most riders would rather have alloy wheels and steel hubs than alloy hubs and steel rims. The brakes are these compact little Diacomp 500s. Yeah, I got dirty hands. I've been working on my car a lot lately. And these things are going to be tight, and they're going to be quick, and they're going to work just fine. The crankset is a little bit of a compromise. It's an alloy crank, and the sprockets are steel. And both of the sprockets are riveted in place, so you can't remove them. But that's a fair enough compromise on a bike of this level. According to the bottom bracket decals on the seat tube, this bike is made in Japan, so that's a pretty good thing. It's got a lugged frame, and just like the Falcon, it has a beautiful color, which is sort of this reddish burgundy. The rear derailleur is a Suntour, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 makes both of these bikes 10 speeds. So that's the story of the Bridgestone and the Falcon, two bikes that I found yesterday, which just goes to show that if you look hard enough, bikes like this are out there, and you can get them pretty cheap. Good luck, and thanks for watching.